Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Thursday evening, October 5, 2023. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what the weather has been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any other related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. I respond to all comments and I really live for this stuff. Alright, so let us take a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center's 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. We can see that we have a brand new era of disturbed weather across the main development region. And earlier today, it had more of a pointing towards the west, which would mean that it would be moving in more of an east to west kind of fashion. But we can see in their latest update, the 7 p.m. Jamaica time update, we now have it moving or possibly moving towards the northwest. So maybe another out to sea system, who knows? We'll just have to wait and see exactly what unfolds. We know these things go. We see it pointed in a direction, then later on it changes and shifts. It's just a waiting game at this point, so we have to stay updated. You can also see that we have Tropical Storm Philippe still right there to the north of the Caribbean, to the south of Bermuda, and we can see that it is still moving towards the north at 14 miles per hour, and it's packing maximum sustained winds of 50 miles per hour, and it's eventually going to make it into the northeastern portions of North America during the weekend. Taking a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, we can see that the tropical wave that was east of the Caribbean is now situated across the eastern Caribbean, so it's now affecting portions of the Leeward and Windward Islands with some mode of clouds, showers and thunderstorms. And to the east of the tropical wave, we have another tropical wave across the central portion of the main development region. Taking a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can see Tropical Storm Philippe's clouds right there with that deep convection still spinning away and bringing some amount of clouds already to sections of Bermuda. We can see that we have a cold front right there across portions of the central US moving towards the eastern US. We can also see that we have some clouds where we have a trough-like kind of pattern across sections of Hispaniola. Might have been induced by Tropical Storm Philippe, or it could be those outer bands still stretching in from Philippe. Definitely bringing some amount of cloud showers and thunderstorms to sections of Hispaniola, Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico at this time. You can also see that tropical wave now affecting portions of the Windward and Leeward Islands, especially the Windward Islands getting in on a blanket of clouds, showers and thunderstorms right now, maybe some isolated flash flooding taking place. We can also see that tropical wave across the central portions of the main development region. All of these are moving towards the west, all courtesy of the high pressure ridge that's across the northern portion of the Atlantic. We'll be talking more about the Caribbean's weather later on. Let's focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today. It was stated that we would have received some amount of rainfall across sections of some eastern, central and western parishes in Jamaica, especially northern Jamaica. We know eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey. Central parishes, we're talking about the parishes in the county of Middlesex. Western parishes, we're talking about the parishes in the county of Cornwall. And we know when it comes to our northern parishes, we're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary and Portland. And what ended up happening? A post was made on our Twitter page, not only our Twitter page, but our Facebook, Instagram and TikTok page, highlighting the infrared satellite images at 3:25 p.m. Clouds showing are bringing overcast skies, showers and thunderstorms to sections of some eastern, central and western parishes. So definitely sections of northwestern St. Andrew, that would count for the eastern parish. Sections of Hanover, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, St. James, definitely counting for the western parishes. Central parishes, definitely sections of Manchester, Clarendon, sections of northern St. Catherine. And with the brunt of it especially across northern Jamaica, so sections of St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary definitely gotten on some of that. Not so much majority of Kingston and St. Andrew like what we had yesterday, not to mention Portland or St. Thomas, but definitely the prediction came true, even although it isn't what most persons would have liked. Some persons are still, wanting more rain to come, more thunderstorm activity, even although they're scared of all the activity that's taking place. And we even have confirmation of this rainfall across sections of the island today. Tiajima Escasa stating, so your weather prediction was accurate today. TG Minidol stating Mobile Washway, the breeze in Ryan Park ain't normal either. Then we have Sapphire Willie Marsh stating thunder showers in Mobile right now. So definitely that confirms the rainfall across sections of the island for today. Taking a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can see where we don't have that easterly low level flow at all. We have more of a southwesterly or westerly kind of flow across the island. Definitely gotten on some isolated thunderstorms across some coastal areas. Even sections of Portland might have gotten in on some of that rainfall as well. Then we had that buildup of clouds, cumulus clouds becoming cumulonimbus clouds with those high cold cloud tops, the blues, the greens, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the blacks. Not to mention the sparkling white dots that are indicative of some amount of lightning flashes, if not lightning strikes. Then as we can see right now, recording hour, majority of this thunderstorm activity has dissipated, making way for more clear skies, so we might see the moon tonight. Taking a look at the Doppler radar images from the Cuban radar site, we can see that at this time, majority of the rainfall is right there to the west or the northwest of Jamaica, just some scattered rainfall. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we have 27 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston, and by 3 a.m. temperatures in both Montego Bay and Kingston should get down to 25 degrees Celsius. Taking a look at the temperatures for tomorrow, we do see some improvement in the temperatures. We see more in the way of yellows, some light yellows that represent at least 1 degree Celsius above normal temperatures for tomorrow. So we're kind of out of the woods with all of those 2 to 3 to 4 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. So we're indeed grateful for that. We know that the average temperatures for the month of October in Jamaica is about 89 degrees Fahrenheit. And when we take a look at the thermometer, 89 degrees Fahrenheit is about the equivalent of 31 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 31 to 32 degrees Celsius on Friday. Taking a look at the dry air map, we can see some dry air across the Gulf of Mexico, the eastern portion of the United States, or the waters to the east of the United States, the northern main development region. But the Caribbean, especially around Jamaica, lots of moist air. We don't see any yellows, oranges, reds, or whites within those reds that represent dry air as indicated by the key at the bottom. As related to the Saharan dust forecast, 2 p.m. on Friday shows that we still have some slight Saharan dust conditions. Considering that there's a tropical wave, persons won't even notice the Saharan dust. But that's the Saharan dust that we want to see. That's on the lighter scale. It's not that vigorous. We see the vigorous plume right there in the darker shades of brown, right there up the coast of Africa. That's what we don't want to see. And hopefully we don't have any of that for the rest of the year. Taking a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, both the Euro and the GFS's forecast for Friday show definitely some light blue surrounding the island, as we see at the key at the bottom right. The light blues are indicative of anywhere from 0 to 0.5 of a meter wave height, so definitely some good fishing weather, some good outdoor activity in the ocean or the sea weather, definitely. So if you're going out to the beach, you're definitely going to be enjoying the lack of high waves. Taking a look at the wind forecast, the winds are definitely responsible for those waves that we're going to be getting on the low end, considering that the winds are going to be averaging at least 5 knots, maybe even close to 10 knots in some areas. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models have the winds coming in from the south, which means wherever we have those blues, that's where we're going to have the least amount of winds. That's where all of the air is going to be piling up. That's where we're going to have those cumulus clouds coming in from the south, and then developing during the afternoon hours when we have that daytime heating. We're going to have that diurnal convection. So more in the way of some thunderstorms across sections of some northern parishes. So definitely sections of St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland might get in on more of that rainfall. Definitely northern Jamaica's day again for Friday. And we can even see that the upper level wind shear supports the north coast as well, still coming in from the southwest. So definitely they're in for some more of what we received today when we had all of those clouds being blown off or pushed off towards the north. Not so much rainfall for the southern coastal areas. So definitely Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas not gonna be getting in on much rainfall for Friday. And we even have confirmation of this. The Euro and the GFS models, yes, they show blues across eastern, central, and western Jamaica, but majority of the darker shades of blues is encompassing sections of some northern parishes. Look at those darker shades of blues right there across sections of Eastern St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland right there. So definitely another day for the North Coast in terms of rainfall. Taking a look at the accumulated precipitation forecast from the Euro and the GFS models, keeping in mind that both of these maps are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Friday. And we do see the GFS is making more sense as it relates to where the rainfall is going to be. Definitely, especially sections of some northern parishes in Jamaica, where the total is going to be up to 0.5 of an inch of rainfall. The Euro not making much sense, showing more of those reds that represent rainfall across eastern Jamaica, even up to 0.92 of an inch of rainfall. We know these things go, we have to look for consensus, and yes, we do have the consensus. It's going to be raining across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes in Jamaica. So maybe some northern sections of St. Thomas, northern St. Andrew, northern St. Catherine, northern Clarendon, northern Manchester, northern St. Elizabeth, and sections of Westmoreland, with majority of the rainfall across sections of some northern parishes. So Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, again for Friday. And we're indeed grateful that we're going to be getting in on that rainfall. We're in the month of October. We're in a rainy month. We usually get the most rainfall during this month, and we're indeed grateful for that. Hopefully it puts some kind of a dent in the hydrological drought that we're experiencing across the island. That's causing the National Water Commission to impose some restrictions in the corporate area. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let's focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we can see where we indeed had some isolated thunderstorms across sections of Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica as usual. Even sections of western Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala got in on some of that. Not much in the way of rainfall for sections of Florida for today, but we do see that sections of Cuba got in on some amount of afternoon thunderstorms. Taking a look at the northeastern Caribbean's Doppler radar images, we can see that we still have some rainfall left over from Philippe, affecting portions of the eastern sections of the Dominican Republic, the waters to the west of Puerto Rico. Even sections of Puerto Rico got in on some amount of rainfall. Look at that flow coming in from the south and moving towards the north, definitely influenced by Philippe. And we can see that rainfall coming in from the east, moving towards the west, all courtesy of that tropical wave. So we definitely had some flood triggering thunderstorm activity across sections of Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia for today. Even across Barbados, they might have gotten in on some amount of flash flooding kind of weather. Look at all of that rain that went across Barbados and now across sections of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Martinique, and even sections of Grenada. We even see some of that across sections of Trinidad and Tobago as well. We can expect more of that rainfall. We can see that coming in from the south and the east. Maybe some more, definitely, especially for southern Barbados. Taking a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we can see that we don't have much taking place across majority of the basin, just those isolated patches of rain across sections of Cuba that we mentioned earlier, as well as northwestern Venezuela. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can see that majority of the Caribbean basin should be receiving up to 1 to maybe at least 2 or 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures for Friday. This is actually 1 p.m. on Friday, and we can see the consensus there. Taking a look at the Saharan dust forecast, we do see some slight browns across the eastern Caribbean that represent some amount of Saharan dust, but as stated earlier, they won't even be noticing that, considering that they are definitely being affected by a tropical wave at this time. They'll definitely notice it, however, if it was this darker brown shade, that vigorous plume of dust right there off the coast of Africa. And this is valid for 2 p.m. on Friday. As relates to the wave forecast, still have the lack of waves or high wave heights across the Gulf of Mexico, the western and central Caribbean, as indicated by those lighter shades of blues, as you can see by the key, that represent anywhere from 0 to 0.5 meter wave height, while it's the southwestern Atlantic, the east coast of the United States, as well as the eastern Caribbean that's going to be receiving anywhere from 1.5 to 2 meter wave heights or more. And that's due to the fact that the winds are going to be strongest there, where we have those brighter greens that represent anywhere from 10 to 20 knot winds, even those yellows that represent anywhere from 25 to 30 knot winds, with those reds in there. Anywhere we see Philippe, those systems, that's where we usually have the strongest winds. And we can see that we have that brighter shade of green across the eastern Caribbean, where we're going to be receiving more of an east-southeasterly flow. Jamaica, more of a southerly flow. and we can see that it's definitely going to be weak in terms of the wind flow across the majority of the Caribbean basin. As relates to the rainfall forecast, we do see the consensus in terms of the amount of rainfall that's expected, keeping in mind that all of this is showing the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Friday. Some isolated rainfall could be in store for sections of Florida, Cuba, the Yucatan Peninsula. Not so much in terms of rainfall for the Bahamas, but maybe the Turks and Caicos might get in on some of that rainfall. Sections of Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, definitely some rainfall. Some more rainfall in store for the Leeward Islands, Anguilla, Antigua, and Barbuda. Sections of St. Kitts and Nevis, sections of Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, sections of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, sections of Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, sections of Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, right here, sections of Guatemala, Belize, definitely are going to be in for some amount of rainfall. And we're sure in the certainty of this forecast because both of the Euro and the GFS models are showing the same thing. And when they're in consensus or in agreement like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.